Hey everyone, it's TJ Hunt again, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to do less and achieve more. So, some of you may know who Tim Ferriss is. He wrote The 4 Hour Work Week, The 4 Hour Chef, and The 4 Hour Body. He's all about life hacking and accomplishing more in less time. So, he has a rule that's called the 80-20 rule, which states that you focus on 20% of the things that produce 80% of the outcome or the income or whatever it is you're looking for. So you have to recognize the 20% of the things that you do that actually are accomplishing something instead of just being busy. Because, while you're working or whatever it is you're doing, if you're not producing a result, then chances are most of what you're doing, it's just things that you're doing to stay busy where you convince yourself that you're actually getting things done when in reality what you're doing is just staying busy. You're not really doing things that are producing a result. So let me tell you guys a little story. Last year I went through a coaching program called the True Man Academy, and it's a 12-week program, and in those 12 weeks I wrote an entire book in 3 months. So that was the first book that I had ever finished. I've been writing for over 10 years. I've started countless books. But that was the first time that I had ever finished one, and it only took me 3 months to do it. So, how did I do that? What what changed? What was different? Well, what was different was that I was focused. I was so driven to to get it done that instead of when I would sit down and start writing, instead of opening Facebook and writing a little bit and then going back to Facebook and all of these things that I would distract myself with, I would sit down, close everything else on my computer, and just write. And I wrote a book in 3 months. How many people can say that they've done that? How many people can say that they've finished a book, period, let alone in 3 months? Now, it's not the longest book in the world, but it is a finished book. So you just have to realize that, there's so many things that we do, and it's not always just distracting yourself with Facebook. It's things that you do on the job or while you're working that aren't actually producing any result that you're just staying busy with. Like people who are in social media marketing and blogging and, any digital marketing or whatever, anything else that takes up your time. If it's not producing a result, maybe it's time for you to move on to something else. Because obviously you have to give it a chance. You have to give yourself that chance to see if that strategy will work for you. But at the same time, you have to realize if it's not producing what you're looking for, then maybe it's time to move on to something else. So, just keep in mind the 80-20 rule. What 20% of what you've been doing is producing 80% of the results, because chances are that's the ratio. You're doing so many things to keep yourself busy, but you just have to realize that there's so little that's actually producing a result. So that's it for today. Take care, everybody.